today I'm going to get up close and personal. The children. I talk about the future children repeatedly, but we need to have a talk about the future children, because I need to prepare you for the future children. Autism is not a disease, and it's nothing that anything on this planet created. And what's about to start coming down the line of children, no bacteria did it, no drugs did it, not the water, nothing on this planet is doing this. If you have an autistic child, you are blessed by the divine. I don't know how any other way to put it. It's a blessing. They gave you a life lesson on love and kindness that this world did not have. So why did autism happen? And why will the next layer and the next layer and the next layer get worse? And here's the thing. Anybody who, I don't know anybody autistic. I don't know very many people. I'm in and out of people's lives so quick because I'm just a seed spreader, and then I'll move on. It's who I am. It's what I do. It's my duty. So I've met a lot of people, but this is one group that I don't need to meet to know. In fact, I would go as far as saying as I think a lot of which I don't talk about these disorders, a lot of the titles I got in the 70s match up with but it all comes down to one thing. Every autistic child out there is teaching us one thing: how to be kind. Again, our oath, and we have an oath we took, okay? I'm going to say it again. We are all Atlantean. Every human being who is in matter as a human being with a brain and a body is Atlantean. And in Atlantis, we had everything. And there's so many. Deaf is not a disability. Blindness is not a disability. These people who have a little less of one, if a sense is turned off for external, it means it's turned on heavier internal. These are not disorders. Every human is born perfect. For them, for their contract, for their lessons. But not only are they being born for their lessons, they're also being born in doing things for your lessons. So children that are miscarried or that their soul's only here for a short period of time, there's a lesson in there for the people left behind. Any human who dies, their circumstances of death have nothing to do with their contract. Their circumstances of death are a lesson left behind for the living. Let me say that again. When a human dies, the circumstances of their death have zero to do with them. It has to do with the people left behind. There's a lesson to be learned. Do you understand that? Everything, we are avatars. When you go to sleep, you go back to wherever you are in your continuum. Um, dreams are not made up. They're not hallucinations. In fact, when I do a sleep study, it says I have somewhere around anywhere from 100 to 128 wake ups. They call them they called it trauma. They said I woke up traumatic. I don't know what. I was like, what? No, I happen to be in a position that I have to, when I'm not conscious, I'm busy, really busy. I personally have 3 dragons and my archangel, and then my one, the one job I do with the chakra, the sacrals. So I split into 5, but it's very difficult to explain that when people are so stuck in the nobody knows anything. The truth has been so manipulated and twisted to control you. And the problem is, every one of you fuckers got ego. And this ego, you're protecting your knowledge with the ego. You need to shed the ego. You need to become humble. You need to realize you don't know anything. And then you come back to a plate of freshly learning anew. But even then, nobody can teach you. You have to look in, listen to the 54 beings, I mean, do you guys have any idea? Because every single thing I'm talking about has to do with beings. The 15 chakras, it's all beings behind it. The 13 planets and 13 zodiacs, there's a lot of beings behind that. The 17 dimensions, you got a lot of gods. You guys call them gods. They're actually lords. No human can take a lord title, a god title. I don't know what the hell, or a king title. I don't know what that's about. I will say this. With the knowledge I have, there's no way in hell I would lie. I mean, the reason for the 21 dimension, the 21 density levels, is because if you realize inhumane's down here and you know violent is next, so you know if you go and strike somebody that you have dropped your vibration very close to reform it. If you are a liar, that's the next level. Why is liars next to violent? Well, I finally got the answer. Because a lie is violent. It is. It's a strike against their soul because they did it. It's a strike against you because now you got this negative lie smacking up against you like, oh, geez, that hit me. I mean, I used to just peruse what the news says, but I gotta stop that because even the lies in the title are like, oh God, there's nothing true. Even what I say is not all true for you. Again, I am but humble, benevolent servant here. I've handed over my free will to do my duty. Because if I had free will, I'd fucking hate. I'm not going to lie. It's that easy. I would not be able to control myself because the cruelty is so bad, but I'm not allowed. See, this is where my code of ethics is more than a code of ethics. It's a code of arms of the Melchizedek. So I'm not allowed to hate. I'm not allowed free will because I have a duty to fulfill. If I got wrapped up in the cruelty and the hate, how could I come through and do this information? You know what I'm saying? It has to be done. Be safe. And so your chakras. The reason why the chakras are so important to understand is because not only are you part of a bigger connection, you're always, how do I say it? Everything you do affects that whole line. Okay? Everything you do. So, oh God, I'm going to get personal here. Okay, so I'm Lord Aniel, and my avatar, I screwed up, jumped into the illusion, and I got cancer in the sacrum at 24. Had a full hysterectomy. Yeah. So, got a hole in my heart. 2012, we were supposed to wake up. This was supposed to happen in 2012. So, I will say this. Oh, sorry. My glue. I got false teeth and my glue just oozed out on me. Sorry about that. So, the heart. I got a hole in my heart. I got endocarditis. I worked for a feed yard, cattle feed yard, big one in Texas. Did Y2K, had to clean and swap out Cat 5 cable for Cat 5 coax, and I did it in the what they call the vet buildings. It's where the animals give birth. It's where they get their shots. Anyways, it's very nasty. Anyways, so there's bacteria and they're giving Q fever in 1999. We diagnosed this in 2013 and endocarditis because that's what Q fever does. And it gives me epilepsy, peonies, neuropathy. We could just keep going. it wiped my system, but I see it more as in I didn't wake up and I wasn't able to, because crazy enough, the time we're all supposed to wake up is the time opioids are big. I was being prescribed, I'm 110 pounds. I'm being prescribed Vicodin 10s 5 times a day, tizanidine at its max level, gabapentin at its max level. I was on antibiotics. I was so medicated. So I'm allergic to almost all antibiotics now. I think I'm antibiotic resistant, which sucks, but I'm not going to get sick, so I'm not worried about it now. Now I know better. But so my heart, because I didn't wake up when we were supposed to wake up. So we have all taken a fucking beating. We were supposed to wake up in 2012. They did thwart that. They did win then. But since then, we have had. Am I allowed to tell them? There has been the removal. I'm just going to say that. There has been a removal of the one who thwarted 2012. This is why in 2023, which I got to say, I lost it. I didn't know how to handle anything. When my brother went to prison for what he went to prison for, that I snapped, because that made me remember, because everybody in the family had been lying to me and been saying, no, you're wrong, you don't remember right, you don't remember right, you don't, and calling me a liar because of what I remember what they did. And I've been in therapy for 35 years for this. And finally, when he goes to jail for this, I was like, I'm right. Y'all are wrong. And y'all are covering for each other because of what y'all. Every one of my siblings traumatized. But remember, I am very sensitive. I am more sensitive. I mean, I want to go toe to toe with an autistic because from what I understand, haven't met any, but from what I understand, they can't handle cruelty either. When you can't handle cruelty, you can't handle it. I think too much. I cry too much. I'm too sensitive. My first husband used to walk over and do this and go, "Oh, I fixed your feelers," and I was like, "That didn't do anything except make me even more," you know. But because I fell into the illusion, because I went with the hate, because I went with all that I was told to do, react, so my brothers would stop beating me up, because me forgiving them made them hit me more. So yeah. So understanding that the beings that are going to be born are going to have more problems with this cruel world because we're at the end of the Kali Yuga. These children are being born for Sakti Yuga, which means these children are being born with the inability to understand cruelty. I don't know. Yeah, I am getting hot. These lights. Wow. Summer's gonna suck. So everything from my chart, everything on my websites, everything is about what needs to be. But what you don't understand is the reason why I write this for the future is because they need truth, because they can't stand nor handle the lies. They're being born with this knowledge. They're coming out remembering their avatars. And we're going to have more archangels. In fact, I want to say most our autistics are angels. Because angels, they've been vibrating at such a high level that when they come here and things are way more, see, they thought things would be less dense. Because the solar flares can only do so much, but if you don't get with love now, if you don't focus yourself to love yourself, to be truthful for yourself, to hold yourself accountable, don't allow yourself to lie, fact check everything. Know, first off, even if you have a degree, you know nothing. The Dalai Lama's full of shit. The monk's full of shit. The Pope full of shit. All leaders full of shit. Because they want you to focus on them, because as long as you're focusing on their problems and them, you won't focus on you. Turn that shit off. Focus in your home and you. The way we change things is if every human were to sit down and just start loving everything. And our collective is just loving. Those motherfuckers have to sing to us. Okay, the metronome that's on the cans, on the metronomes, we are the strongest metronome, okay? And as long as we keep ticking with love, and every autistic child out there is teaching you what? How to love like you didn't even know you could. And accepting everything. Accepting that you're pouring love into a child and you get nothing back. That's because you did not give freely of your heart. This is teaching you to give freely of your heart. When you have an autistic child, you give freely. What you get back, you take in niblets. But you know what? You're not supposed to expect anything back anyways. The children being born are not being born because of a disorder. They are the norm. You are the fucked up one. How about that? We are the ones. If you can't just be loving, understand, and accept them for who they are and build a world around them, what are you doing? Why are we throwing kids into a world and forcing them into a world and not building the world around them? Why are we not raising our children, reading to them? You need to read too, anyways. Go through all the philosophies. Go through. Manning has a book about the secrets of all. Dude, that's really a great place to start with any child. And you're like, oh, wow, whatever. Because these children have this knowledge. And if they get enlightened when you talk, you'll go, oh, yeah, okay, that's who he is. The secret teaching of everything, only some of it resonated with me. There's going to be some that's going to resonate with others. I've got the opus of the Milky Way up free. I'll get the blueprint. I have to get the blueprint done because the kids finished my blueprint. So I know that. But God, it's all about the kids. I can't talk about the kids anything more than, holy shit. Our entire world needs to stop what they're doing and go look and learn from the autistic children. Just all of them. They are our leaders. I'm not kidding you. People make so much fun of it and of them, but what they don't realize is that they're showing their ignorance of them, and they're harming their own souls. My brothers made fun of people who people think are less than, when actually they're greater than. You're the less than. So you got the ignorance, that think they know everything, tell you what to do, and because they've spent more time studying, they know better than you, or they've been looking in the sky, or they look in the microscope. I know better than no, you do not. No, nobody knows better than anybody else. No, I don't know better than you. I happen to have the knowledge in the blueprint of all the beings that are assisting you. And if you want to stop and listen to them, they will tell you all of this themselves. But are you going to go listen to Pluto, bitch? Pluto's pissed. Pluto and Eris, Maki How Main series, they're like me. They give freely. They don't think. Pluto and Eris, no, they got ego. So leaving them two out, yeah. And anybody who talks again, and whoever removed them, yeah, wait till you hit the continuum. You do know these people are real in the continuum. And these beings, that's why I tell you about them, is because when you fuck them over, they gonna get a hold of you because they lords over there, and they're gonna show you what being fucked over is. They are. As above, so below. So as things are here, continuum can be as tragic. I promise you. I've spent most of mine, all y'all kept reincarnating, so you're actually more involved into this illusion than I ever could be. I didn't. I incarnated with the Mott, and then I've incarnated here. All my other incarnations are in the 16 dimensions because I worked as an archangel in there. I did not. I went through the kingdoms before I got incarnated because that has to be done. But before that, as I flame went into the earth and went ahead and did that and then got incarnated with mine. But I came in on a divine level, and I am a divine archetype, so avatar. So I'm different, but that's because you needed a divine to come in here to speak to you, to show you this, somebody who knew how to turn free will off. It ain't easy. But I have to live by my code of it. But my father was an ethics. I mean, everything in my life makes sense when all this came out. So you have to understand that the 1, the 3, the 5, the 7, the 9, the 11, the 13, the 15, the 17, the 19, the 21, and the 49 are all beings that are trying to communicate with you right now. Now, you got to turn things off. Even music, even sounds, tones. I find water helps amplify, jacuzzi, pool, even feet in water. a puddle, literally, or feet on the earth, grounding, and just listen. Just listen. I. Now, the 54 beings within your body, the 7, then you got smell, taste, feel, intuition, sight, and hear. Why do I? Oh, my brain. Who did I skip? Thought. I did. I skipped thought. Wow. In my book. I was doing my book and I just noticed thought got lost. Sorry about that. Okay. Yeah. We've been. I get downloads today. I didn't. They didn't prepare me for today. They just wanted me to speak for the children and to prepare you for the children of the future, because the children of the future, public schools are not going to work, and homeschool is only going to work if you grab the College of Occult. Literally, you need to go into the occult. The reason why they've kept you from reading occult is because the occult blows their illusion up. Not Satan stuff. I'm talking about Blavatsky, Steiner, Manning. And then you also need to work with also in. Here's the thing. You need to read everything to these children. And when they light up, make note. And then you'll know what child you have. So when I say we're supposed to build the world around a child, well, if you have a child that sits down at dinner table and he has a knife and a fork and he starts beating the flake and you hear a freaking beat, are you to go make him do something stupid, like become a manufacturer and work for a manufacturer? Or are you going to, like, hey, we might have a drummer here. Let's get some sticks there and see what happens. That's what I mean by you're supposed to build the world around these children. If we were building our world around these children, the world would be different. Instead, you're building fucking children around the world. This doesn't work, and they're not going to take it. Generation B, y'all are fucked. They're not. They're not. They will not. War? No. You are making them appalled. Again, the children being born in the future are fucking pure angels. That's why the density has shifted on this planet. The density did not shift for the people living here now. Y'all are fucked if you're not getting with love. But the ones being born, that's why it shifted, because the ones being born are going to be born about love. Unconditional love for all beings. Understanding the 7 principles. Remembering our oath that we gave. We are all from Atlantis. We are all Atlantean. Nine billion people lived on 9 islands. 1 billion per island. The difference is each galaxy had different densities. And when everybody came in, between all the 8 galaxies, we landed with a 21 density level. That's when you come. That is the 21 levels of the space elevator. Only the ones on the bottom who actually made it to matter, who got skin, could walk. When it was time for things to change, there are beings that did not want to come and get dense. They couldn't do it. So that capsule went into the scar. The earth opened, it went in and closed back up. This was her plan, because she wanted to create civilizations within the geode she had built. So they took grass, dirt, stuff that was not down there, because it's all crystal. So they had to bring everything so they could grow food and learn things. And then the crystals that used to be all over Atlantis were all collected and brought into the land. The crystals that are left throughout are literally the scatterings of the big crystals that we used to grow on the planet, but the crystals have been harvested since, majorly harvested. And that's the problem. Anybody who is even I have a blood diamond. I know this. I have made reparations with them. I have loved it out of its aura. But I also had to be aware of its evil intent in the beginning, because if you buy diamonds, the reason why you have to put a diamond to get married is it's a control thing. It's not so much about the money as it is that blood diamond is going to keep your vibration down. Unless you love that diamond out of its blood diamond, apologize to the beings that died for it, because they are there, they are listening. All the beings that had any part of making anything that passed, there's a residue of them. Energy does not get removed, energy does not get made, it just transfers. And as I touch you, my loving energy rubs off on you, then your loving energy rubs off on somebody else, and this is how we make change. But we have to remember that in order for the politicians to change, we have to have a silent rebellion. Number one, go thrift. Number two, get off as much corporate crap as possible, go local. And number three, teach everybody around you to love. Make everybody stay in the loving space. Any negative thought, one tiny negative thought is a bad ripple in the whole ocean. We have to get with love and kindness. And we have to understand that these children being born, autism is not a disease. It is not a mistake. It is designed. And it is designed as a lesson for you. Because those children, all they're about is kindness, love, understanding, getting along. And all they do is look at you and go, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why fight? Why war? Why tell somebody else what to do? I am not telling anybody what to do. I do not tell you how to think. I suggest you not do certain things. I say, if you want to know how things work, go to atlanteanlove.com. Understand this information and how the chakras work and how you go from the source and how it goes all the way to the earth and how it goes through every human. And that if you have a problem in a certain part of your body, that these guys can help you. Also, there's elements, the 5 elements. You got gnomes with the bones. You got undies with the blood. You've got nervous system with the dragon. You've got breath of life with breath. You got the temperature and lymph system with the fire. So everything is up to you. But right now, you need to understand that the future children coming out are going to be born without the ability to understand cruelty, and they're going to fight you. They're not going to accept cruelty. That's what they kept telling me last night. These children want you to know. Be prepared for them. They will not put up with it. So, if you want to prepare a future for the future children, there is only one direction. Care more about your earth than money. Care more about people than money. Care more about you than money. Care more about anything than money. Care. Love. That's all there is. That is literally all there is. And they're here to teach you. And there will be more. And that's how they're coming down the pipeline. They're going to come out with full knowledge of Atlantis. And they're going to be demanding that you stop being mean. It is time to get with love and kindness. That's all there is. This is my daily dose of love. I love you. Now go love somebody else.